It was a curious decision in a 5-4 ruling with Justices Amy Coney Barrett and John Roberts defecting to the dark side with the loony left. The court ruled that the Biden administration did in fact have the right to remove razor wire that Texas officials put up to block an invasion of their state that the Biden administration very much wants to continue. I'm going to explain the nuances around this because you're not getting the truth from the mainstream fake news. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So the White House made a stunning admission about the razor wire at the border, saying it got in the way. And what they meant by that was it stopped the armies of military-age men from third world countries around the globe pouring over our border to change America forever. Folks, this was a very dark day for America. Now, I understand the arguments that Article 1, Section 8 in the enumerated powers gives the Congress the power to create an uniform rule of naturalization, but I think Justices Barrett and Roberts forgot about Article 4, Section 4, where it says the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion. In essence, folks, this ruling is stopping Texas from enforcing the law, while at the same time it is enabling the Biden administration to break the law. Governor Abbott had declared an invasion at the border some months ago, and according to Texas law, he has the authority to stop that invasion to protect his people. Abbott invoked Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution, which declares, and hear the whole thing, no state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty of tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in time of peace, enter into any agreement or compact with another state or with a foreign power, or engage in war, here it is, unless actually invaded or in such imminent danger as it will not admit of delay. There you go, folks. Governor Abbott's state is being invaded. He doesn't care about the rest of the country. He cares about his state, which is his job. And Article 1, Section 10 says, unless actually invaded, and he is being invaded. You see, a lot of people don't realize that states can declare war. A state is a country unto itself. A lot of people don't get this concept. The federal government, as written in the Constitution to this day, it says that the federal government was supposed to be an agent to the states, meaning that the federal government will do all the things that states didn't want to be bothered with, like coining money, protecting us from foreign invasion, creating roads, doing a post office, and all that happy stuff. They wanted the states to be able to act freely and without problems between states on matters of nationhood. This idea that the federal government has sovereignty over the states is nonsense, but everybody believes it, including the zombies who walk around Washington, D.C. A lot of people can't get past the concept that something like New Jersey is a country and Pennsylvania is a different country. They're called states, which means a country. You say the state of Israel, meaning a country of Israel. If you owned a real estate company and you were around for a lot of years, and then you joined a real estate consortium of real estate companies, and they were throughout the country, and you went to the yearly get-together, and there you had meetings and you talked about the trends of real estate in regions around the country. Do you think that because you joined that real estate consortium that you no longer own your own business, your own real estate business, and that you are now owned by that real estate consortium? Well, the same thing goes with the United States, folks. States that joined the Union did so knowing that they would retain their own sovereignty and that the only powers they would give up were the enumerated powers listed in Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, and that due to the 10th Amendment and other places in the Constitution, the states would hold all the other powers, even those that were not yet thought up. If a new power, a new thing comes up, that belongs to the states. And the founders brilliantly put in an amendment system, which means that if there is a power that the federal government wants, and it's not listed among the 18 enumerated powers, then the federal government must ask all of the states if they can take that power away from them. And they do that through the amendment process. And if they do not do that, then according to the Constitution, the federal government does not have the right to do it. I want you to think of the many things, the thousands of things our federal government does today, where the power to do them are not listed among the enumerated powers. That's called a usurpation of power. It's criminal, but here we are. Article 1, Section 10 gives the state of Texas the right to protect their borders from an invasion, especially if you have an evil, negligent, malfeasant federal government that is intentionally neglecting the invasion. Now, I know CNN and MSNBC will get on the air and they'll say, it's not an invasion, and that's because they are all for the invasion. Mark my words, it is an invasion. Having foreigners who are breaking the seal of our border and entering our country in violation of our laws, they are not leaving. If somebody breaks and enters into your home in the middle of the night, they call it a home invasion, right? They're not wanted there. They're not supposed to be there, and they won't leave. Joe Biden does not have the authority to allow them to stay here. We have laws that Joe Biden has a constitutional obligation, a duty, if you will, to enforce that will get these people out of here if they came in illegally. And they do not fall under the status of asking for political asylum, even though they all do. And trust me, folks, according to the numbers from the CBP, about 90% of them do not fall under the refugee status because they are not being persecuted by their home governments in their countries, and there's no war in their country. They are economic migrants who see a free paycheck and an opportunity that the American taxpayer owes them a living, according to the Democratic Party. Now, James Madison once argued that Article 1, Section 10 can be used for states to declare war against smugglers. Now, stupid liberals out there, that does not mean that Article 1, Section 10 can only be used to declare war only against smugglers. It was an example that Madison gave. And tell us that Madison was this old dead white guy. Why do we listen to him? Because scholars to this day refer to him as the father of the Constitution. If a state's sovereignty is being violated, that state has the right to declare war to protect itself. Declaring war is not something that is just up to the federal government. And the argument that Abbott is making is that they are not defending the U.S. border by their actions. Texas is defending the Texas border. And according to our own Constitution, the state of Texas has the right to defend their border when it is being invaded by foreigners. They are a country of their own with their own sovereignty, and they have the right to declare that they do not want foreigners illegally coming inside their state. And don't count on the feckless Republicans in the House to impeach Biden for this, because they should have done it last January. We haven't seen jack shit so far, and Jack left town. Governor Abbott has a constitutional duty in the state of Texas to protect the people of Texas, and unlike Joe Biden, he takes that constitutional duty seriously. Joe Biden is a scumbag. He is a creep. He is a demon who is allowing over 10 million illegals come into this country in 3 short years. And they're doing it for power. I did a video on this the other day, and it's about the 3 things that the Democrats want to do with these illegals. It's not just getting votes. I'll put a link to that down in the description. Roberts, Barrett, and the 3 dum-dums on the court have said that this is a national immigration situation while the appellate process is going on. So in other words, folks, the court in this 5-4 decision said that until the arguments going back and forth between Texas and the Biden idiots are settled in the appellate courts, the feds have the right to cut the razor wires to allow the invasion to continue. It's an unbelievable situation. This ruling is not the end of it, though. This was the Biden administration reaching out to the Supreme Court and asking them to give him a hand and allowing him to support an invasion of Texas, which leads to an invasion of all the other states when all was said and done. And he wanted that decision before the appellate courts had to deal with it, because it takes time and he may lose a couple million people from coming in. In the end, Texas Governor Abbott told the federal government to shove it where the sun doesn't shine, saying in response to the Supreme Court's ruling, he will continue to defend Texas's constitutional authority to secure the border and prevent the Biden administration from destroying our property. Now, Texas has gone out of its way to show how restrained it could be throughout this crisis commonly referred to as the Biden presidency. He has gone to court. He has asked the federal government to do something about all the illegals entering his state. He has shipped thousands of illegals off to blue jurisdictions that claim to be sanctuary cities and states. None of this is doing any good. He has the right to defend his state and his people, even when the president of the United States and his goobers couldn't care less. You're going to hear liberals say you have to abide by what the Supreme Court says, and you should just look at them, laugh, and say, oh, really? Since when did you ever abide by the Supreme Court? Joe Biden was told by the Supreme Court that he can't forgive student loans for votes. And he told the country that he doesn't give a damn. He's going to defy the Supreme Court, and he's going to do it. And guess what? He is. If nothing else, what I want you to take away from this is that none of this would be happening. None of it. If the Biden administration had just carried out its constitutional duties and enforced our immigration laws by stopping this invasion, which they are clearly not doing. It's amazing that a majority of the court actually sided with people who are refusing to enforce our laws. But more importantly, they sided against people who are trying to enforce the law. And in the end, it's the state of Texas, and therefore through the efforts of Texas, that the rest of us would be protected from this invasion simply by Texas enforcing the law, something the Biden bunch are not willing to do. All right, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share our videos with like-minded friends who want to stay informed of what's really going on. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.